On Saturday, November 4, the New Patriotic Party will be going to the polls to elect their flag bearer for the 2024 general elections. Now, who amongst the four gets to lead the party? Is it going to be the Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia? Is it going to be MP Kennedy Japan? Is it going to be former Greek Minister Kuto Efriye or Mr. Ade Nimo? Now, a number of the newspapers are covering this. Now, on the front page of the Chronicle, survey projects Bawumia to win by 80%. You also have it on the front page of the Publisher. Polls predict 80.8% win for Bawumia. Now, the Herald also has one interesting headline. Kennedy Japan wanted $500 million US yearly contract to step down. Bawumia's team dropped bombshell ahead of Saturday's NPP presidential primaries. And on the front page of the Daily Guide, NPP primaries, Bawumia tipped to win 80% votes. Now, let's get into the details of this from the Daily Guide. On page 3 is a story by Ernest Kofi-Addo, and it says a new poll by a UK-based research organization, Center for Sustainable African Development Initiative, Citi, has predicted more than 80% win for Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. The research, which was conducted jointly with a Ghanaian-based organization, The Outcomes International, indicates that Dr. Bawumia will sweep the presidential primaries of the New Patriotic Party, NPP, by 80.8% come November 4, 2023. His main competitor, Kennedy Japan, is expected to secure a partly 10.4% of the votes, while Dr. Kuto Efriye will get 1.1% and Francis Adaimo will bag 0.4% of the votes. The report, which used quantitative research design and computerized assessed telephone interviewing technology, focused on assessing the candidates based on their vision and competence, with delegates being prioritized based on these key criteria. Now, minimum sample size was determined 9.248 PSE, 95% confidence level and 1% margin of error. However, 9,300 delegates were interviewed in order to increase precision. The research used multi-stage probability proportional to size sampling with implicit stratification. Now, fieldwork for this study was carried between October 10 to 20, 2023. According to the research report, 7.3% of the delegates remain undecided, and that the main reasons for the choice of Dr. Bawumia is his vision for the party and the way he has carried out himself throughout the campaign. I think there is a good summary for us to know. I mean, we've all followed the news with how things have gone so far, where they started from and where they are now. Those who wanted to leave, left, leaving those who feel they still want to stand to battle it out on Saturday. So this is where we are. Eric, I don't know what you make of all this. The showdown proper is on Saturday.
Okay, so in August, prior to the elections, the selection of the five by the National Executive, we're here to talk about it. And we spoke extensively about the various aspirants and the likely outcome. And yes, perhaps the predictions that came up, indeed the five went through successfully, except of course the bowing out of the Venerable Alan. We've had the various, attacks on each other during their campaign. And one thing I must say is this, and I quote from Things Fall Apart. Now he has won our brothers. Our clans can no longer act like one. He has put a knife on the things that held us together, and we are falling apart. Chino Achebe. I say this because there have been attacks from the camp of Bawumia and then from the camp of Ken. There's been reports that Ken was offered some $800 million to step down.
500.
And there are also reports that he wanted contracts annually, summing up in excess of $500 million. These are all reports. But I heard Ken say that indeed he was offered $800 million to step aside to allow the sitting vice president to go through. But you see, if one house, you begin to fight each other in this way, politics is fine. I mean, there are times where you have to jab your opponent just to score some points. But if the broader picture is, not taken into consideration, and we are a bit myopic in terms of our parochial interest, then I don't know where the party will be heading towards after the 4th of November elections. One is admonition that, listen, if you do what you did to Alan to me on the day, then be prepared for the outcome. But I can tell you on authority that the vice president needs Kennedy Japan more than Ken needs the vice president. And so I will caution that in their quest to campaign, to as it were, buy, quote and unquote, the delegates, they should be mindful of the sort of utterances and the comments that come, in an attempt to sell their message. If you do so and then you attempt to destroy each other, I don't know how they will come back again, as it were, to campaign proper during the 2024
But this is what we always
elections.
see, with our primaries, whether the NPP, the NDC, people attacking each other. And really, Kennedy Japan belongs to the NPP, so he belongs to a party. And so if you say that Dr. Bawumia needs Kennedy Japan more than Kennedy Japan, it is a party affair. Kennedy belongs to the party, so he needs to be part of the party, like Dr. Bawumia also belongs to the party.
You see, I said that in the context.
Yes.
And I said that because after the elections, whoever emerges, let's say the vice president wins, he will need Ken more. And I keep saying he will need Ken more because, listen, we may not see the effectiveness or the sort of crowd Ken pulls, but at the grassroots level. Listen, the August elections had about 900, 90,000 or 900 people, delegates, electing the 5 flag bearers, hopefuls that we have. But this is about in excess of 200,000 delegates that are going to vote. Anything is possible. There's every possibility that Ken could win. There's also every possibility that the vice president could win. And in fact, even the others, Adainimo and the others, either of them could win. But where you are, fighting each other on the grounds of ethnicity, on the grounds of religion and what have you, at the end of the day, how do you reconcile this to get these same people to help you in the campaign proper leading up to the 2024 general elections? So all I'm asking for is that these people are cautious of the sort of statements they make that do not denigrate each other, and then at the end of the day, bearing in mind that they will need these same people to champion their cause in the lead up to the 2024 elections in December. So I am still asking that Dr. Bawumia, especially, and his team should be cautious of the sort of.
Is it because you are tipping the vice president to win?
No, I'm not saying that.
Because everybody should be cautious, but you keep saying Dr. Bawumia should be cautious because...
I've met Ken, before. And even at a party, he came through where in Kumasi when he came to say hello to the celebrant. And I thought, wow, you could leave your campaign just to come and say hello to somebody's celebrant. No, I'm not saying that. But that should also send you that signal that the man really is down to earth. And I have also seen the vice president do his bit, almost all around. And we can all attest to the sort of things he does. But in the 2024 election proper, if there's anybody, and I'm saying this on authority, if there's anybody that perhaps could fight the NDC's flag bearer, that for me could be Ken.
Interesting. Yes. So, according to Eric, in 2024, if anybody can fight, the NDC, it will be Kennedy Japan. And we also
I didn't mince words at all.
No, you did not. And you said this on authority. No, I like it when you boldly, say it and own up to it. Now, the predictions are also going in for Dr. Bawumia with an 80.8%, or for you, it's an issue of fewer delegates.
No, I'll tell you, it's a two-horse race.
Right.
No means to disrespect the two other candidates, but I'm being objective.
Sure.
I'll do my own objectivity and my personal view as a Ghanaian. This is a two-horse race between Dr. Bawumia and Mr. Kenneth Japon. Dr. Bawumia may win by some over 60% votes. I can predict that one.
According to you?
Yes, I can predict that one without fear or favor. Dr. Bawumia would win with some over 60%. Mr. Japon may make an impressive about over 37%. I'll leave the remaining contestants with 1% each. They'll struggle to get that one even. And the rejected vote, I can tell you that it will not hit 1%. This is an election they are going in, and much of the discussions has been on who belongs to where. If you are able to go into the circles of their discussion, you can know the total number of people swaying to this candidate, the total number swaying this.
What are you privy to? Share with us.
Oh, no, I'm listening to the TV and the radio discussions that I'm listening to. That's how I'm carrying my personal polls. Asking who is speaking, where the person belongs to, what power play the person can pull, the strings the person can pull, and how objective the person is. Even those who are playing neutral are even in the course of their discussion, you can see where they are tilting towards.
Right.
So you can smartly say that, look, I would not go for like the 80% that is put out there, but then I'm saying he was going to make an over 60%. Moving forward, Dr. Bawumia is likely to win. I've said that one. Quickly, let me add that surprises can happen. Like you said, the fear delegates mantra would not get missing out of my. But expectations are, one, these are persons who are potentially likely to move to the next step of becoming the president of the Republic of Ghana. Like it or not, it's between just these two gentlemen and another standby gentleman. So 3 persons, if God gives us all life, including their own lives, to stay here on earth, and the competition goes on peacefully, it's between this one of these two plus the other waiting candidate. That's how it's been, and easily predictable for you to know. So I would say that fair elections is important. Respect for one another. In their language, I've been disappointed a little bit with some of the one person calling the other one that is going to be bribed. I was going to be bribed. This one is calling for a bribe. This one is saying that I was offered a bribe. Those ones, they should watch out. Remember, you need your opponents. Citizens. Yeah, but we are watching them.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying, that you see, once you are fighting with your brother, the words you are using will be tagged to the family. That's what in the end you get. So they should remember they will need one another after the election.
I agree.
Unity after election is key. You see, they will not all win. That one, I don't believe in that thing any day. They say, oh, after the election, that's all, we have all won. No. Once there's a competition, somebody won. And after winning, it hovers on the person who won to then bring everybody on board to share his win. So the win is still belonging to somebody because you will be called the flag bearer. But whilst holding the flag, where you let other people also hold is very important. Then forward, I said, look, who wins this contest, like I told you early on, will contest the sitting candidate of the NDC. Let us as citizens listen all through, just as we listened for the NDC one, and start to question some of it we heard. Like you rightly said, that people will be watching on. Let's look at their political agenda, their manifestos. I don't really look at party manifestos. I look at the national agenda. That's why you and I have always been worried about the NDPC's plan for the country. So that we can be juxtaposing what they give as their political party agenda with what is sitting down and see how we are moving forward. For education, what do we want in the next 2 years? For health, what do we want in the next 3-5 years? So that's what I'll be guiding with. By the end of the day, I'm congratulating all of them already for taking a bold step. Look, if you've contested an election before, you know how it feels.
Right, so on Saturday, no, I'll give you just 30 seconds for this.
Okay.
Because whatever we are going to say here, the delegates will decide on 4th November or Saturday, they will come back and talk about this. But I am very much interested, I'm very much interested because for me, it's not about the NPP and their elections. You know, it's about, we are going there, to look at a potential precedent for Ghana in 2024. So with everything that is going on, that is where my mind is. Whoever gets to be elected to be the flag bearer, as against the former President John Mahama, who would do a better job?
Okay, so what I'm saying is, on the 4th of November, all we are advocating for, and some of us are also championing, is that there's fairness before, during, and after. The credibility of the 4th November elections cannot be overemphasized. And so we are asking, especially the state entities that will be involved, the Electoral Commission, the Ghana Police Service, the military, whoever, please, please, let us make sure that we do our work objectively, devoid of anything, and I say anything adversely, I mean, you know. So devoid of anything.
Yeah.
So please, at the end of the day, we want whoever emerges, you know, the winner, elected fairly and credibly, so that all of us can congratulate them and look forward to, you know, the 2024 elections proper. So the EC especially, please, we don't want to hear issues of we did not have election materials in this end or at that end. We don't also want to hear anything from these opposing ends that they did not get the register on time. You know, the things that do happen on election day. So please, let's make sure we put our acts together in having a credible, free and fair elections come the 4th of November.
Absolutely, I agree with you. If there will be any kind of showdown, let it be a positive one.
Exactly.